Beauty Spy: The Woman Who Saved NIS. Episode 1-2 English Audiobook Edition. Adapted into natural, cinematic, native-style English. Opening 30 seconds. South Korea's National Intelligence Service. A place that protects the nation from the shadows. But tonight one of their own is the enemy. And that enemy is hunting an even bigger threat. Beauty Spy: The Woman Who Saved NIS. Episodes 1 and 2 begin now. Episode 1 Lee Eun-ah: The Rooftop Mission begins. Southern Italy. A charity auction on the rooftop terrace of a centuries-old gallery. Overlooking the port of Naples. Mediterranean air drifts across the open terrace. Brushing against rows of string lights swaying like stars. Crystal glasses collide softly. Italian jazz glides between the guests. Perfume rich, layered, decadent flows over the terrace like a warm tide. Beyond the glass railing, yacht lights scatter across the dark sea like fallen constellations. Beautiful night, isn't it? That sound. Waves? A man lifts his wine, leaning closer. The woman beside him doesn't quite smile. Just the faintest curl at the corner of her lips. First time at a charity auction? Still new to this world. This place is a battlefield. People fight with wallets, and they draw blood. That chandelier, they said it came from a Parisian antique market. Over 100 years old. It's graceful but bold, like you. Clusters of tuxedos and gown-clad guests laugh and gossip under the warm light. And then everything pauses, as if someone dimmed reality. She appears. Eun-ah. Her silk dress trails behind her as she descends the stairs. The terrace light blooming gently across her silhouette. Her lips crimson. Soft catch the shimmer of the chandelier. Her gaze holds a quiet intelligence, always reading half a step ahead. Chestnut waves fall over her bare shoulders, the breeze weaving through them like a lover's hand. She wears no diamonds except the earrings that sway against her neck. Catching every stolen glance. She doesn't need jewels. She is the jewel. Men forget to breathe when she passes. Women pause mid-sentence. Everything about her beauty feels dangerous. As if her curves are carved to distract and destroy. Most people call her a Korean luxury art curator. That is half true. Tonight, she is something else entirely. Com link. Target entering. Moving to the reserved table at 3 o'clock in 20 seconds. Eun-ah lifts a champagne glass, her smile still soft, still perfect. Copy. Visual acquired. Her eyes sweep the terrace in a single graceful motion and lock onto the target. A man in a tailored black suit, silver beard, cane in hand. A broker tied to Bureau 39. The shadowy North Korean unit that handles Kim Jong-un's slush funds. Korean by blood, Russian by citizenship. A ghost who walks effortlessly between Moscow, Beijing, and Pyongyang. Tonight, his purpose is simple: confirm the safety of Kim Jong-un's offshore accounts and move laundered cryptocurrency through a Chinese darknet pipeline. The painting he donated worth €2 million was a fake. A flawless fake, as precise as the infamous supernotes once forged in Pyongyang. When the broker begins moving toward the auction hall, Eun-ah's fingers lightly grip her necklace. The diamond pendant is a lie. A micro camera rests inside. Beginning approach. She moves with effortless grace, closing the distance with a single elegant stride. The broker turns and freezes. Eun-ah offers him a glass of wine. He accepts without breathing. "Have we met?" he asks, eyes tracing her features as if trying to memorize them. Her lips part. Her voice is a velvet whisper. "Oh, we'll see each other again. Very soon. Very close." A smile forms on his lips, dangerous, amused, suggestive. He doesn't feel the microscopic tracker that dusts the buckle of his designer belt. Inside the surveillance van, a young NIS agent swallows hard. "Sir, is she really just a curator?" The team leader scoffs. "She's our femme fatale weapon. Even we don't know who she truly is. The director is the only one who treats her like royalty." "You think something's going on between them?" "Who knows? But he protects her like she's nuclear intel." On the monitor, Eun-ah looks up and smiles as though she heard their conversation. As though she knows everything. Because she does. Inside the gallery, "This forgery is going to cause trouble," she murmurs. She removes the label from the back of the painting, slipping into a quiet corridor beneath the chandelier's glow. The artwork resembles a late Renoir, but her trained eye sees too much life in the brushwork. Too much brightness in the pigments. Overdone, and this frame she pries it open with a slender tool. A microchip falls neatly into her palm. A decoy painting. A communication vessel. A meeting signal. Her mission is not the art. It is whoever responds to it. Behind her, the door opens. "Madam, the chairman will arrive shortly." Vladislav, sharp suit, smooth Russian accent, a smile carved from ice. He steps closer. "Miss Lee, how's the piece?" Flawless to amateurs, suspicious to professionals. Art is like that. Sometimes the fake hides more truth than the real thing. Her gaze sharpens. "Are you talking about the painting or about me?" A flicker crosses his eyes. "You ask dangerous questions." He turns and disappears into the crowd. Her comm device crackles. "Root leak detected. Someone inside our own team might be feeding intel. Possible internal betrayal." Eun-ah closes her eyes briefly. So it begins. Tonight, someone will uncover her real identity. Seoul NIS headquarters. Team leader Kang Dae-beom stands before the monitor. Two names stand out in the Naples report: Eun-ah and Vladislav. Eun-ah, you again. Former 707th Special Forces. Now the sharpest spear within NIS. He scrolls through the forensic analysis. Microchips. Cipher exchanges. Forged paintings. Vladislav showing up means this isn't just a cultural scandal. He signs the departure form. If she's there, and someone inside is leaking intel, I'm going myself. He doesn't say it aloud, but a truth lingers in his chest. Eun-ah once meant more than a colleague. Now, he isn't sure what she is. Naples rooftop terrace. The night grows softer. Jazz fades into warm echoes. Eun-ah runs her fingertip along the rim of her champagne glass. She stands against a pillar, letting the golden light wrap around her. Her eyes are smiling. Her breath is trembling. She looks at her reflection in the glass. Eun-ah isn't here tonight. Only the operative remains, and in her reflection she sees the shadow of the man who will soon arrive, Kang Dae-beom. The only person who can slip past her defenses. The only variable she cannot control. A whisper escapes her lips. Maybe I should kill him before he ruins everything. Episode 2 Traces of a Swiss Shadow. 2 Kang Dae-beom stepped out of the airport into the cold Italian air. His skin was tanned, his cheekbones sharply cut. Eyes long and dark under thick brows. The expression on his face was almost blank. But it was the kind of blankness that made it hard to look away. From the pressed collar of his shirt, down to the straight line of his neck and jaw, everything about him felt measured, controlled. He walked with a heavy, unhurried stride. Authority and danger moved with him. He looked about 185. When he pulled a pair of sunglasses from his jacket pocket. There was no warmth in the gesture. Yet somehow, he commanded the room. With a charisma that bent every gaze toward him. Even in a suit, every movement carried the imprint of an elite 707th Special Forces officer. A safe house in Naples. Down a narrow back street in Naples. Old red brick warehouse waited in silence. No signboard, no people, just a forgotten building on the edge of the city. An NIS safe house. Eun-ah unlocked the double-secured metal door and slipped inside. On the table a briefing folder and a small USB drive. She glanced once through the dusty window, then murmured, "He should have landed by now." A moment later, the door opened without a sound. Kang Dae-beom stepped in, dark suit still creased from the flight. "Where's the USB? It suits you better here than in Seoul," she said, half teasing. He let the comment pass. "I switched planes twice to get here. The moment I heard there was a USB from Switzerland, I couldn't stay put." Eun-ah picked up the drive and handed it over. Swiss private bank in Lugano. A North Korean official opened a shell account. We pulled the login history and IP traces, but part of the data looped back to Seoul. Gangnam, to be exact. Dae-beom's eyes hardened. Bureau 39, Kim Jong-un's slush fund handlers. What the hell are they doing all the way out here? He flipped open the buckle of his expensive belt. And slid the USB inside, like it belonged there. "It's one of their offshore channels. Right? One of the routes Kim's overseas assets move through. No real name yet? We have a lead. Intel says a private banker flew into Italy. Officially he's just an art broker. But we caught a glimpse of him meeting Vladislav." Dae-beom spread a file across the table. "Name's Kochenko. Russian. Right now he's hiding behind refugee papers and drifting around Europe. The problem is one of the people who met him is on our own internal list." Eun-ah's hand stilled. "Who?" "Codename Gilrim Shung. Codename Gilrim Shung." He looked up and met her eyes. He crossed paths with one of our operations in the past. For a split second, something flickered in her gaze. On the surface she was the same unshakable operative. But Dae-beom could see a ripple run through her. "Tomorrow I'll head to Bern," he said. "There's a small private bank there, Kleine Privat. I'll scout the branch and head straight back to Seoul. Our cyber guys are already digging into their server logs. Tough schedule. There's more," he added quietly. "High-grade intel says someone on our side has already reached out to that channel. For investigation? Or for themselves? How would I know?" He said. "What matters is, Gilrimshung is about to resurface. Pyongyang Central Broadcasting keeps hinting at him. They're looking." "Really?" Call sign Jang Eun-ah keeps sending messages addressed to him. "There'll be an operation soon." At that name, Jang Eun-ah, a faint tremor went through Eun-ah's chest. "I'll finish things up here and return as well," she said. "For the operation I'm ready." His gaze lingered on her for a heartbeat. "Eun-ah, don't go too deep. Senior, you too." Their eyes met. A brief collision of something that never quite became words. Then they both turned away, opened the door, and disappeared into the Neapolitan night. 2 days later, Kang Dae-beom received an urgent order from headquarters. Immediate return, no delays. He boarded the first flight back to Incheon. Eun-ah followed soon after, cutting the Naples mission short. The moment the call sign Gilrimshung resurfaced, her return was inevitable. Episode 2 returned to Seoul. Seoul, late night. A mid-sized sedan sped through the quiet roads, near the royal tombs of the Joseon dynasty, heading toward the secure outskirts of the city. The road curved left, narrowing into a path, flanked by layers of steel barricades. Unyielding, fortress-like. This was the National Intelligence Service. The NIS. A place where secrecy wasn't a rule. It was a lifestyle. The sedan maneuvered through the barriers, with practiced ease, slowing. As it approached the main gate, black uniformed guards, former special forces, raised their hands, signaling a halt. Their faces were stone, their weapons loaded, their eyes cold. Dae-beom rolled down the window. "Appreciate your work at this hour," he said quietly. He handed over his ID, then reached up to pull down the vehicle. Pass from the overhead pocket. The guard inspected his badge, scanned the interior, checked the back seat and finally stepped back, saluting. "Clear. You may proceed." The sedan rolled forward. A row of tire killer's steel spikes, meant to shred unauthorized vehicles, clattered as he drove over them. Even after all these years, the mechanical grind still crawled up through the chassis. If he weren't authorized, his car would have been flattened already. The massive headquarters building rose ahead. Silent and dim, most windows were dark. The few offices still lit had blinds drawn tight. Everything looked peaceful from the outside. Too peaceful. NIS Communications Intercept Room. Kang Dae-beom, head of Investigation Team 1. Former captain of the 707th Special Mission Unit. Direct. Rugged. A veteran who hunts North Korean sleeper agents. Without hesitation or mercy. Where he was headed. The Signals Intercept Room. A 247 operations chamber where the NIS monitored, decoded, and analyzed enemy radio traffic from the north. He opened the door quietly. Immediately, the tension hit him. Agents with headsets sat rigid, eyes fixed on monitors. Not a muscle out of place. Team leader, good evening. Soo-ho greeted him from the front row. Ex-UDT Navy Special Forces. Reliable to the bone. Take it easy, Dae-beom said. I rested a moment ago, sir. Rest. Here, that word meant almost nothing. Tonight was transmission night. North Korea was expected to send encrypted orders to their agents in the south. The tension in the room was sharp enough to cut. Waves on the monitor spiked, appearing, disappearing in milliseconds. Frequency hopping signals, random number bursts. The kind only expensive imported systems could detect. Dae-beom sat in his seat, reviewing years of accumulated intercept data. Seasonal patterns, historical broadcasts, anomalies. Unseen work. Unrewarded work, but essential. The agents at the receivers were stiff, alert, waiting. Any second now. North Korea's familiar female announcer's voice flowed through the speakers, calm, musical, unnervingly cheerful. Check the auto-recording one more time, Dae-beom ordered. Yes, sir. System is live. Of course the system recorded everything automatically. But nothing compared to hearing it live. Hearing the moment the enemy spoke. Every cell in the room seemed to wake up. Then, from Sinwiju, Ms. Jang Eun-young sends a message to call sign Gilrimshung. Before the announcement, a song. A revolutionary anthem filled the room through shortwave radio. We shall carry the song of joy. The theme song of a North Korean spy movie. The kind aired late at night, intended only for one audience. Underground agents listening in the dark. A wake-up call, a summons. For decades, the pattern had never changed. Song first. Numbers second. When the song ended, the real broadcast began. Message for Unit 2031 and 2037. Cipher set 13 now transmitting. 53925. 367. 75. 43218. Random numbers flowed like ice water. Each set carried a specific order. A meeting point, A dead drop. A kill command. Dae-beom leaned forward. Tonight, they were naming specific operatives. 2031, 2037. Who were they? Where were they? What were they being told to do? Suho, Dae-beom said sharply, pull everything we have on Gilrim-shung. Now, just this year? You joking? All of it. Every file. Every scrap. We're preparing for war. His voice dropped a tone dangerous, gravelly. Yes, sir. Right away. Minutes later, thick printouts spilled across the desk. Accumulated decrypt logs, cross-analysis reports, old case files. Decryption materials, sir. They pulled up a map of Seoul. Dae-beom circled a spot near Gwanghwamun Station with a bold stroke. Here, this is where the contact point aligns. Make Plan A and Plan B. Right now, ending 30 seconds. Will Kang Dae-beom capture Gilrim-shung in Gwanghwamun? What is Eun-ah truly after? And who hides behind the call sign Jang Eun-yang? The shadows deepen. Beautiful Spy Chronicles returns in episode 3. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Your support fuels the next chapter.